I often see and often hear a lot of corporate friends. I'm sure you must also be having.
Yeah.
We see that those whosoever the corporate going people, and if they happen to listen this, what are the signs in their handwriting which they have to watch that they are reaching a break point before they even realize it? I mean, it's just kind of forecasting now. If they were to look at their own handwriting and see, if you were to give one quick tip to those people, maybe that can be helpful for them and save from chaos.
So, one most important thing when you are writing, a lot of times I see samples wherein the lines that whatever is written is not even on the baseline. It's literally between the two lines. It's flying in the air. That shows how grounded are you in life. So that's the simplest tip that, a person can see to understand how grounded he or she is in life.
So there are two lines. Let's say there are a piece of paper. Most of the corporate people having a plain paper. They don't have like line sheet, right?
Okay.
How do they, make sure that they are not doing something wrong while writing?
So like even the spacing between each word or spacing between each line also clearly makes you understand that, whether it's someone, a handwriting that's flying in the air or it's well grounded. So the person is well grounded or just having, big thoughts and big dreams, but actually in life is not doing enough.
Right.
अगर आपने सोचा है तो 100% पहुंच हर कोई सकता है, but there are steps. By CD chalna padega, which all of us know. So handwriting does show that, how grounded that person is and how logically he thinks.
Right. Might be a useful tip for them. Okay. Let me ask you this. People normally take graphology as a hobby. Whosoever, I mean, at least what I know. But I think you have made it as a career.
Yes.
So if I may ask, where does the money come from making this as a career? If somebody wants to get into the graphologist, being a graphologist, right? And everybody wants to do something for their living, and somebody chooses this as a career, how do they make sure that they are making decent and enough money, and what are the ways possibly which they can follow and make it as a career? Like, corporate worlds, like your engineers or like many other people does it, right? So graphologist also make sure so that this would attract people to make this profession as a career.
Got it.
Not as a hobby.
Got it. Got your question. Yeah.
So what do you think? How do they
first and the most important thing
and make a decent money for their living?
So first and the most important thing that I want to throw light on, as we all say, chaotic world, digitalized era, fast-paced life. In the coming years, there is going to be, a lot of demand wherein people are going to have, literally issues. In fact, it's already started, in a big way, issues with mental well-being.
Yeah.
So the demand is going to be literally like so much, and people to work on it or help them with. So say a graphologist, the community is like so tiny. So even if I have to say, I'll say that I alone can't do. I need to build up a team. I literally, whomever I approach, I say, please come with me, start learning and start helping. If this has transformed your life, why can't we transform 10 another?
So you mean forming the community and then teaching them. So teaching could be one way of making the living.
Teaching could be one way. In fact, there are multiple ways. Let me tell you, when you talk about corporate, from the HR, we get so many resumes in which, we can literally analyze and tell them that this is a personality who's got leadership quality. This is a personality who could be good at sales. This is a person who could handle a big group. So we help them filter the resumes.
Right.
In terms of HR. And when it comes to second, I said teaching the same to masses. Yeah. Another thing could be, reaching out to schools, catering to the teachers. So if you have taught the roots, automatically the entire school, all the kids would come up in the perfect given manner. So there are a whole lot of avenues.
Yeah, I could also see one use case, say, in the forensic work. There may be one of the use case of graphologist being a graphologist.
Yes. Not predominantly, but then yes, it does help.
Yeah. And I mean, at least what I saw in the corporate world, you rightly mentioned corporate HR. Yes, of course, this is one um, one area where they can actually jump into and think of having a graphologist. I don't see, or in fact, I never have seen any such position in today's corporate world. Is it something which is available in the platform like Naukri.com or somewhere else, or how do we navigate through it?
So yeah, there are a lot of agencies who have multiple things in which graphologist is also a sector that's available, and that's where they can approach them.
Things are, it is there, it's just not so widely open,
or probably the awareness is not that much.
And are they paid good for like an engineer? How they get paid?
No, not like an engineer, of course, but decent enough. Yeah.
You mentioned that this can be a low stress career as well, because the demand is not that much. Of course, there are the nuances which each individual need to take care of it. How do you balance being an emotional detective, if I might say this, for others without taking their stress home with you?
So you said, how do you?
So how do you balance being an emotional detective? Because you get to know, if somebody writes something, you get to know that he is emotionally not balanced, he is not, he's going through anxiety or something like that. How do you make sure that you are not getting affected out of it? Because sometimes it's like overwhelming for you, maybe, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And likewise for many other professions as well. When we talk about psychologists or the mental health specialist, these people see all the folks who are coming to them, they make sure that there are certain norms and they follow that norms. And when they get out of that setting, it's completely out of their mind. Being in the graphologist field, do you think there are also some set of norms so that it won't hamper your own personal well-being or the mental health for that matter?
So norms, not really as such, but yeah, practicing the therapy itself, the writing therapy is what we do. And as we always say, like a doctor, the moment you are, in this closed room with someone, that's where you leave everything and go. And,
right.
The same therapies, that we do. Like I, being a graphologist, I write each and every single day, my first practice of the day, and, it ends with the same.
But I think, this is my personal observation, which I have seen. Many people who are into the sensitive things, like, treating the anxiety, treating depression, like yourself, that you also get to know that if somebody is suffering from some disease, being an human, right, we are having that emotional trait anyways, and we easily get moved on. So while we are helping other people to get out of certain things, most of the time I found that people got so much attached that they themselves feel bad, and sometimes they start suffering out of it, right? So yoga is one thing that, like you said, therapy is one thing which you do for yourself, other thing. But do you see any hacks which a person can apply while helping others and his own mental health would not impact a lot? Any quick hack?
I get that, but then the writing therapies is simply what we, practice.
Okay. And this would help in mitigating all of those stuff.
Yeah, almost like, in the sense, it's been so many years, I don't see, anything like the sort.
You become pro.
No, it's not that, but then, as you said, as a human,
Yeah. So
this itself helps.
If a young kid want to learn being a graphologist, what are the ladder he need to follow to reach to your level? And in how many years do you see it requires that?
So we've got something called as, weekend sessions. So there are around 4 to 5 levels that, are there. There's something called as the health course, when how do we, dig in deep regarding the health aspects. There's something called as the basic personality traits. This way, there are 4 to 5 different levels, and this can be done in 6 months span.
6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do something real right now for the audience? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Now, I'm gonna write something, and I'll show you on the camera.
Okay.
You need to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind about the current state of moment. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. As long as you are comfortable, I disclosing,
Oh,
about
yeah,
you.
no
and
worries.
currently,
I want to be vulnerable. Don't want to be perfectionist. I'm just writing something.
For us, the strokes are more important, not what you write. So yes, you may write just anything you wish to.
Okay, let me try that. I'm gonna show you this.
Okay. What I understand is what you think and what the way it has to process doesn't have much of connection.
Okay.
I don't see your letters connected, which gives us an understanding that, the connection of thoughts and the way it has to, come up in real life, or the way it has to come up, the way you're thinking doesn't really happen. So simply, wherein I gave you the example of a child who thinks, I know this answer, this is what it is, but then when it comes on, putting it on the paper, it is not happening. It is not fully sinking in. So that's the first thing that I see. Second, I see you're a person who's got temper issues. Yeah.
All right.
And someone, who would always try and get done things what you feel the way it is. So like a little rigid.
Perfection kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's your way of looking at perfection, but perfection, yeah, your level of perfection would be different than what my level is. So from my lens, that's my, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it is certainly true, but not exactly, but that's okay. I think because of camera, you might have not seen much of it, but I'm sure.
And also just 3 words,
doesn't reflect much.
Yeah. How can I?
No, it's great. At least I get something to work on. So I will do that. Thank you for it. Okay, one last thing which I want to ask. If people could change just one thing about how they write today to improve their mental health tomorrow,
okay,
what it would be?
All right. So the one key takeaway could be not writing very sharp. A lot of times when we see, there are a lot of sharp edges that you see. That's one thing. And another important thing, handwriting should always have clear-cut 3 zones. The upper zone letters like letter T, D, H, those loops should be seen properly, perfectly, because that talks about all your physiological beliefs. The middle zone, the letter N, O, those letters, and the lower zones by the loop that you form in Y, J, G. All the 3 zones should be clearly seen in a letter. That's the biggest thing that a person should keep in mind.
And it help improving their mental health, like in the question which I have mentioned.
Yes, of course. In fact, when we work with young kids, that's the first thing that we see. That are the 3 zones prominent? If not, we have to first work on the 3 zones. Because the lower zone talks about, how physically active a person could be. And the upper zones talk about all your belief system, your physiological beliefs, psychological beliefs. It's all about that. So all the 3 zones, absolutely important. How you form then the letter is secondary part, but then this is the most important.
I think our audience certainly try to get in touch with you. Please for this.
Anytime.
I'm anyways, mention all your handles in the description. I enjoyed and really learned a lot of things. Thank God I haven't shown you full handwriting. This was a wonderful conversation and I really appreciate your time. Thank you, Raksha.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
We'll talk something else as well.
Surely.
Now,
yes.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you.